On to the next one. Horizon. Not the racing game. Horizon Forbidden West. Burning Shores DLC. Whatever that is. No, it came out last Thursday. What do you think the next DLC to the Horizon franchise, not franchise. What do you think it should be, and when do you think they're going to release it? Now, there's a caveat here. Worst answers win. So, pitch to lose or win? Justin,
I lost.
Mike, that goes to you. Yeah, powers
okay.
in your court.
Yeah, I'm
Here's
sick
the
of
ball.
going first. Go ahead.
You don't want to go
Justin.
first? You want me?
No.
Oh,
No.
man. Changing the formula. All right. So, Horizon Forbidden West, Burning Shores DLC. Looks awesome. Hollywood science, lots of creatures, monsters, dinosaurs, whatever they are, coming at you. Looks cool. Let's take it back a notch. Let's go back in time, per se. Let's add a DLC from before there were big cities and skyscrapers, towns. Let's go back to the prehistoric with a new character. We don't know him. I don't even know him. Hasn't been released yet. The information on that character, we don't know anything. Could be a dude, could be a girl. I don't know. No one knows. But the point is, you're going back to the prehistoric. And you know what? You don't get all the cool weapons all the way back. Yeah. You don't get all the weapons that you had, you know, the bows and the cool weapons that you have. All you get is a stick and just a stick. You're hitting these monsters with sticks. But the cool part is you can also throw the stick, but if you throw it, it breaks, you know, because weapon breaking is a thing. But the game is helpful because it does show these nice orbs. I think they're green, maybe purple. I don't know. Not referencing any other game, but I think they're orbs on the monsters that you're trying to take down. And if you hit that orb precisely, give or take like 600 times, that monster will come down. Just as long as you can find enough sticks to do so. But yeah, it's called Back to the Prehistoric, Back to the Metal.
But it's a stick, not metal. Gotcha. Mike.
Well, the monsters are metal. Still.
Yeah.
Like the dinosaurs are metal. Yeah.
Mechasaurus.
So one of the problems with the original Horizon Zero Dawn game is the ability to move around the world map, and I have not played Forbidden West. I have played Horizon Zero Dawn, and I do agree. I think there was fast travel, but still, like it was hard to traverse. And one of the things that Forbidden West did was gave you the ability to unlock, and I believe it was through a story. So spoilers, but sorry. It was last year. So through the story, you were able to unlock a pterodactyl, like a dinosaur that you could ride and traverse the map and get around. And I have heard that the DLC only adds to that flavor, to that excitement of getting what would be equatable to like Link's paraglider in Breath of the Wild. You know, just this ability to move around the map in a quick pace, but with a pterodactyl that you can ride. And that is one of the biggest praises that people of the Forbidden West fandom have praised Guerrilla Games for putting into the game, just an ability to move around the map like that. And so the worst DLC would be to strip that away from you. And yeah, I get that you are sort of arguing that a little bit with yours, Justin. But you could tame it. You could tame a pterodactyl, right? I would assume that that's within your DLC. But I'm saying in the future here, still robot dinosaurs, but bring it into this like island that is big enough to be considered sort of an open world or an open zone, and completely strip away the ability to move, the ability to fly, the ability to get away, and that is something that people praise Horizon Forbidden West for, and this DLC is taking it away.
All right, Justin, back to you. Give me some more sticks. What have we got?
Yeah, so you're sitting here stripping away the best feature from the DLC. I get that. Mobility is huge. See, the original game, even though it didn't have that mobility, still rated high because of its visuals, because of its weapons you could use. You can still tame things. You can still ride things. With my game, DLC, you're not able to do those things unless you're grinding up a storm. Because if you find 600 sticks to do that with, and let alone hit a flying creature 600 times, it's kind of difficult. You're going to be grinding for a while to get that taming. But it's worth it then. Sure, you're going to be able to have that element, but you don't have the skills to get that easily and attain it. With your game, you don't need it. Per se, the first game. You did great in the rankings. You did great in the stats, Metacritics. Even without that flying stuff, you still have a great game. Mine, on the other hand, is a grind fest with terrible weapons that break. It just sounds worse or better for the argument. I feel like this game with sticks and no stones would be horrendous to play. Sure, you get the orbs to tell you where to hit the monsters, but not everyone's skilled enough to do that. In that case, you're just getting destroyed over and over and over until you're able to hit that orb, the targeting, whatever color it is. But the problem is, with mine, the inventory doesn't allow you to hold 600 sticks. It's one bar. Think of Minecraft, right? You get your bottom bar. I know you've never played Minecraft, but think of Minecraft with a bar at the bottom, your hot bar, per se. Well, you don't have a backpack because backpacks aren't a thing. So you get that hot bar. That's 8 sticks. And you're going to go and tame a pterodactyl flying with 8 sticks? No. Nay. You need 600 at least. So you're going to be running and shooting, running and throwing. No shooting because there's no guns. Over and over and over for hours on end, just for your chance to ride a pterodactyl. And what are you going to do with the pterodactyl? No one says. There's nothing really to do other than fly around. Great. You achieved the flight. But at the same time, what's the goal? There's no story here. It's an element you go in to the prehistoric. Stories weren't invented. You decide what you want to do. Make your own story, sure. If you can tame a pterodactyl, I give you props. But the game is rooting against you in that factor.
All right, anti-God mode. Mike, what have you got?
I mean, I think Justin is just going a little bit too far. This has no even rumblings of Horizon. It just sounds like not even
dinosaurs.
Close to real dinosaurs, right? And just to bolster your DLC a little bit up, to be in a world with real dinosaurs. I mean, we've seen it with Far Cry Primal, right? There was dinosaurs in that, I believe.
You have rocks and sticks.
Yeah, and but what you're doing is stripping away the game entirely. I'm trying to just create a DLC that would be worse than what we already have. At least the DLC that I am suggesting will be a game. Yours sounds pathetic. It doesn't even sound like anybody would think about developing this. If you want to create the worst DLC, it has to be playable at least. And it doesn't even sound like your game is playable. It's borderline gross. And also, to be fair to your game a little bit, I mean, I would believe there is no world that your person that you do in this would not be able to figure out how to create a bow and arrow. I refuse to believe it. I don't care if you just say that there are just sticks. People evolve, even in bad DLC. And by the way, yours is not even DLC. It is just a flash game from Penny Arcade back in 2001. Okay? Listen, the reason why mine is the worst DLC is because it fundamentally breaks what the original game intended to be, and that was to give you a story that brought you to this moment of flying a pterodactyl and being able to traverse the world and then stripping that movement away. Just think about Spider-Man for a second. If you played Spider-Man PS4 and the DLC took away his web shooters so you couldn't swing around New York City, that DLC would be the worst DLC ever.
All right, one last rebuttal there, Justin.
Yeah, of course. For the record, Far Cry Primal didn't have dinosaurs. It just had like beasts and things that were creature-esque.
Never played it, so it was just a conjecture.
There was no dinosaurs in that game. As for the story and the gameplay, you create it in my DLC. Sure, it's not a straightforward story and plot-driven device, but it's like Minecraft. You create it as you go. Not much to do with it, sure. Sounds like Flash Penny Arcade. I like that. But it is DLC and it does have Horizon striped across the box or the card if you buy that. As for yours, sure, you had that DLC Burning Shores build up to get that pterodactyl to be able to ride it. That DLC was great. It's doing great. It looks great. And that's the whole story up until that point. And then you get the pterodactyl. You didn't have that mobility throughout most of that DLC. And it did just fine. So stripping it away is not going to change that. Sure, it's going to make people upset, but it's not going to change the fact that it's another Horizon game. It matches the DLC that originated in Burning Shores. You have your weapons. You have your things to work with Horizon and go through. Mine is taking you to the roots, back to the dust. Bow and arrows aren't there. People evolve, but this is not a service game. This is not a game that's going to add that. It's DLC. And this is taking you back in time, back to the original Horizon. Obviously, like I said, back to the prehistoric and back to the metal. This is the dinosaurs in a world. Life happens. And I feel like you as the character have to figure it out. And that's the point of this game, is to figure it out. You get a character that is matched in Horizon without the weapons, without the skills, without the abilities. And you have to figure that crap out in this case. Your game definitely sounds like DLC. It sounds great. Regardless if you take away the way to get around the map easier, you still have a great game in its roots there. You have the Horizon character, you have a story, you have characters, and sure, what story isn't great without a hook? And that sounds like the beginning of a hook for a climactic ending in a DLC chapter. And I feel like losing that character that you earned is only going to bolster that ending climax of getting it back at the end or finding a new one.
Okay. So worst game goes to Justin. Absolutely. Definitely not playable. However, worst answers do win. So I kind of have to give it to him. Mike, people are going to play your game. But his answer was worse. His answer was terrible. And the worst answer wins. So unfortunately, based on my own rules of the worst answer wins, he wins for having a terrible answer.
That's ridiculous.
But you win for having a playable DLC.
So who gets a point?
This is rigged.
You know what? You each get half a point on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened.
It's tie game, 1.5 each.
Yep, 1.5 apiece. Let's see where we go from here. It was a terrible question.
There's no tiebreaker in this one.
Mike from Test Your Might here. Thanks for listening to this debate topic from the latest episode of Test Your Might. If you'd like to listen to the full podcast, check out the links below. Please subscribe to the channel over to my left and check out this playlist to my left as well. Bye.